Numbers 17, 6 through 13. Numbers 17, 6 through 13. And Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince one according to their father's houses, even 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among them. Now, this included Aaron's in the 12, so there weren't a total of 13. There's only 12. But these princes, as it calls it, were just more the respected people that they chose. Each tribe may have they may have based it on however they wanted to choose it. They may have chose the oldest, the one that seemed the wisest, maybe the one that was the wealthiest, but Levi had Aaron. So, and each one of these would have identified their own rod because they're carrying it everywhere. They're out in the wilderness, so they use it as protection in case any beasts or animals try to get their flock or whatever. So each one they're all different. They all probably make their own, identify it to that it's theirs. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. Now this is before they had the temple. This is what they had. It held the ark, which symbolized this was the place of God. So he kind of lays it before God. He's kind of leaving it to let God decide who he's going to choose, which he already has. This is just to reaffirm it to the people. So he's going before God with his decision. We have a decision to make. First place we need to go to before we get others' advice is the Lord. Then we go to others, and those that God sends our way will just further help show us His will. I'll find my spot again. And it came to pass that on the morrow Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron of the house of Levi was budded, and brought forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yielded almonds. Now this is miraculous. This is clearly just a miracle from God. This wasn't something Moses could have engineered to where it would happen, because this wasn't just almonds sticking out of the stick. It was actually growing from it. And this probably wasn't even more miraculous. It was probably not even of an almond tree, based on where they lived. Probably some olive tree or something, branch broke off where they made it. But it budded the almonds. You know, when we take our things to the Lord, they're always going to produce fruit. If we give them up to Him and service to Him, it's going to produce fruit. Sometimes it ain't going to be the fruit we see, or we ain't going to recognize how successful we are until we see Him. But if we're serving Him, there's always going to be fruit. Even if no one comes to Him because of us, as long as we're serving Him. The fruit may be just our growth with Him, our closeness to Him. But there'll always be something. Okay. And Moses brought out the rods before the Lord unto all the children of Israel, and they looked and took every man his rod. Now, this kind of shows that each one knew whose was whose, because they take their own. It kind of shows that If the people didn't know, of course the person who wanted to be in charge would go for the one with the buds and blooming right off the bat. But it shows that, okay, they know whose is whose. It ain't just some random stick they use. They handcraft it, they make it special for their own purpose. So we each got our own special purpose. God don't expect us all to do the same thing. He expects us to do what we all for the same purpose as a whole, and that's to serve Him, but the ways He wants us to serve Him will be distinct to each and every one of us. Some of us might have the same roles as others, but in different areas, and some of us may have completely different roles altogether. And Moses, take away their murmurings. When we follow the Lord, read verse 10. And the Lord said to Moses, bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept as for a token against the rebels, and ye shall fully take away their murmurings from me, that they die not. So he's saying, bring this as a remembrance. Aaron was going to be a servant of the Lord now. He didn't need to worry about protection. He's going to be serving the Lord. He didn't need to worry about keeping his sheep or any flock away from wild animals away from them, because he wasn't going to be doing that anymore. He was going to be just solely serving the Lord. He didn't need to worry about raising up crops or anything to where he needed this rod anymore. It symbolizes that his burden of the world is taken away for his service of God. He's fully committed. His job is fully for God. He has no outside work now. He don't need it. When we come to the Lord, the most important thing needs to be our service to the Lord. We'll have other things because we got to work in this life, but our service to the Lord needs to be most important. Now, the murmuring stopped. At this point, they've had to rebel Korah, and that's kind of what caused this to happen. And so, but after this, God's telling Moses, you don't got to worry anymore. These people are going to be completely behind you. And when God makes it clear who's the one who puts his leadership, we need to be completely behind them. After it's shown to us, we need to just support God's will. And if they're true leadership and we're truly looking at God, He's going to show us whether they're to be leaders or not, whether they're a leader chosen by Him or not. The sons of Korah that died, they're looking for new leadership, but they weren't looking to God for what they wanted. They weren't looking to God for the leadership. These people were just asking God and looking to Him, and they accept God's choice after He shows them. We should be willing to do the same. And the children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, behold, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whoever comes at all near to the tabernacle of the Lord shall die. Shall we be consumed with dying? So they were concerned because of what happened with Korah. And God already let Moses know that you don't have to worry about that with them. Just tell them to be committed to me. Respect Aaron as the leader, and they'll be okay. Stop the murmuring, stop the rebellions. Just worry about me. And there comes a point where, as Christians, we're going to have disagreements, but there comes a point where we're going to have to set all that aside, because there comes a point where it's more about the disagreement than it is about us serving the Lord. Sometimes we take hold of an issue whether it, and sometimes it can be a good issue, but then the issue itself becomes more important, and when that happens, we're not acting things out of love. We're acting, well, how can we solve this issue? Because the issue far exceeded at that point. And that's where they had gotten the issue. And Aaron's telling him, Moses is telling him, come, it's okay, just listen. And sometimes we got to be reminded of that.